welcome you to this special hour. And we're going to be sharing inside success secrets for successful work at home moms. And as Tamara mentioned, I've worked from home for 30 years. I started, got pregnant with my first child when I guess I was 29, almost 30. And as soon as I get pregnant, I knew that I was going to leave the corporate world behind and that I wanted to find a way to work at home with my child. And at that time, it was like code for there's something wrong with you. This was back in the day. This was 31 on now almost 32 years ago. People did not work from home back then unless there was something, wrong. It was like a code word for unemployed. And wow, how things have changed. And actually out of that experience of kind of pioneering, I contacted Focus on the Family and I said, I think there's a lot of women like me and they have a degree, they had a professional career. I had been an investment banker and had put a lot of time and money into building a career, but I wanted to be at home with my kids. And I said, I think there are a lot of women out there like me. And they agreed. And they published my book, Homemade Business, my very first book. And that changed my life forever. I think to this day continues to be one of the top selling books in the world for work at home moms. But we'll see if Stacy Woodford can give me a run for my money with her brand new book, Work from Home Survival Kit for Christian Moms. Put God first, win the day, and build your business. I want to welcome you. Thank you, Stacy.
Thanks for having me today. I'm so excited.
Yay, it's exciting. It's exciting. Stacy is a real special lady. Her and her mom came with me to Guatemala on an amazing mission trip. And I think that's part of what God used to help you realize that, well, I love being a businesswoman, but you also feel now called to ministry as well, right?
Yes, definitely. God started putting different ideas on my heart. And this is the thing of an idea he put on my heart.
That's exciting. And of course, you're also with Tamara and I in, I think, Punta Cana for our 7 Days to Freedom event. And that was the first time you shared that you wanted to write a book. And now that dream has come true. So it's so exciting. Well, hey, everybody, I'm Donna Partow, and I'm here with Stacy Woodford. She's the author of the brand new book. And it's called Work from Home Survival Kit for Christian Moms. Good news. We're not selling anything. I know if you've been to a lot of these online programs, they're usually trying to sell you something, and the whole hour is just them trying to get you to buy something at the end. So you can just heave great sigh of relief, get a pen, get some paper, take good notes. Nothing's for sale. In fact, the opposite. This book is available for free all this week, or no, today and tomorrow on Amazon Kindle. And if you go to book.stacywoodford.com or even stacywoodford.com, just as easy. If you go to stacywoodford.com, it'll take you right to her page where you can learn all about her new book and some of the freebies that she's giving away. And we'll share about some of those in a couple minutes. So just be at ease. We're here just to bless you and to share success secrets of successful work at home moms. And speaking of which, I want to introduce you, Stacy. She is a former elementary school teacher turned businesswoman. She has 2 decades of experience with the same company, direct sales company, social selling company, if you will. Her team is in the top 2% of that company. She's a mother with 3 teenagers. She's been married more than 20 years to her husband, who is a pilot and flies all over. And what a world. So with that, I want to welcome you, and I want to just kind of dive right in. What is the number one, I can share my experience, but what in your experience of working with hundreds, I don't know, thousands of women who work from home, what's like the number one frustration for work at home moms?
Well, thanks, Donna, for having me. There are definitely frustrations working from home that we all have to work through. And I would say the top one is time management, learning how to manage your time, how to prioritize your time. And when I started my business all those years ago, I had a 2-year-old and a newborn. And my husband traveled most days of the week, and I felt like I was completely on my own. I really was. I didn't have family around. And I realized quickly that I needed to figure out this whole time management thing, because It's not easy. And but things like planning your day, raising your week, your month, even in 90-day increments, and things like working in 15-minute blocks and setting a timer, things like that can really make a difference in managing your time. And using a calendar, to this day, I still use a paper calendar, and I think it's crucial for writing things down.
I agree. Those are all, wow, you just fired up a whole bunch of really good tips. And I loved a lot of them. I love the idea of tackling the year in 90-minute, 90-day increments, breaking it. I mean, business has done this, big business has done it for, ever. And I think it works just as well for a woman with a home business. Break your business, your year into 4 quarters and make it manageable. And I do think that time management, in fact, we said that we were going to share our insider secrets, our top tips. And I think one of the biggest mistakes that I made, and a tip that I would give to women who are now working at home with kids, my kids are grown. I mean, my oldest is 31 and my youngest is 26. But there needs to be time that you're working and a time when you're not working. And I think that that's something that we can easily forget, and something that I struggled with, because it's like, if you're always on, you're always working, it just sucks the life. I mean, that's why God created a Sabbath. That's why God said, hey, like, at least once a week, just walk away from the business, take a break. And I think that's important. And I know one of the people you featured in the book is someone a lot of my followers love, Yolanda Perry. And she talked about, you featured her, I think, in that chapter about, grabbing those minutes and taking those 15 minutes. Do you use like a timer? Like, I'm going to work for 15 minutes. I'm going to go do something else.
I do different things. Definitely. I have use a timer in my calendar. That's the key, is
Okay.
actually writing it in. If you have it written in, that's half the battle, and you know what you need to be doing in that period of time. But sometimes there are, real small amounts that you have, like 15 minutes, and you need
Yep.
to be on purpose. Maybe you're in the car leads to preschool, or picking them up, or you have that 15 minutes, and there's so much that you can do, and it's really seeing the time that you do have.
I think that's such a really good point, because I can remember I was never a stay-at-home mom, really. I was a stay-in-the-car mom, and I homeschooled, and it was like I was always driving these kids somewhere, and then waiting for them because they get a lesson, they get a class, they get a co-op, they got this, they got that, and grabbing those little moments and making the most of it, and not saying, oh, I have to wait until I have this 4-hour block of time, because welcome to reality. I mean, you've got kids at home. Who's got 4 hours of quiet, focused time? Although you share something that I did as well, kind of a secret of, you are at home, your kids are also at home, but you're not the ones watching them. Great strategy. Want to talk about that for a minute?
Sure, you're talking about the mother's helper.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna get into more of that later, but you definitely need help. If you're somebody that wants to grow a business and you want to create a successful business, you have to learn how to prioritize your time and learn what's important for you to do, and what things are important that you can delegate to other people to do them. And an example of that is having a babysitter, or teenage gal, and that can come in, doesn't have to be a teenager, but anyone
Mhm.
that can come in and do things for you that are really non-income producing things for you, that
Exactly.
don't produce income for you, but it take up time. And then helping you to take care of the things around the house that you can't do. I remember my kids do laundry as quickly as as soon as I, so that was one. But teaching a mother's helper to do things around your house, like fold the laundry, put it away, wipe the counters. I give tips on that, just practicals to get help in your house. I mean, even some.
Yeah, no, I think that's really great. And I actually found that preteens were better than teens. And here's a little insider tip: homeschooling moms. Get in touch with some homeschooling moms who have preteens who, will come over and just play with their kids, just keep them entertained. I never had them do household chores, but just keeping the kids entertained was enough for me. And I know that one thing that's really hard because you're trying to build this business and maybe in the early stages, you're not even making any money at it, but you have to look at it like a businesswoman and say, I need to make an investment. And having someone come to clean your house, that's an investment. Having a mother's helper over, that's an investment. And they're really, really important. And I like the way you put that. You need to focus your attention on what's going to generate income, and things that don't generate income that need to get done, they can be delegated. So
And can
you,
I
yep.
add there that I remember, I started my business because I had a huge financial need. I really wanted to be home with my kids. And I was a teacher on a maternity leave when I heard about my company. But um, you have to invest in your business, like Donna said. And that is exactly what I did, is I invested in myself to help free up my time. And I hired someone to clean my house, and I have had one ever since. It's the best thing.
Yeah, I would say the best money I spend every week. And I actually told her, her name is Carol. I actually told her, I'm like, you are just such a blessing, such a gift, because she makes it possible for me to, focus on what I need to do and creates an environment around me that's, that's not chaos. Because you really, I mean, if there's chaos all around you, it's hard for you to really be at your best. And it really is a very worthwhile investment. So you face that time management, and you actually share in here. And I want to mention again the book, Work from Home Survival Kit for Christian Moms. It is free. If you're watching this live, it's free today and tomorrow, May 18th and 19th. You may be watching this at some later time. You can get the book paperback or Kindle, and it'll be reasonably priced. But on these 2 days, it's available free. And you can go to Stacy Woodford, Stacy Woodford, Ford, pretty easy to spell, stacywoodford.com. And that's where you'll see information about the book. Click that link. And on Kindle, it's free, paperback, real pretty, reasonably priced. And also some information about some other things. You've got some really exciting stuff coming up. You've got a prize giveaway and some other things, and we'll talk about those in a minute. So the biggest frustration, and I agree, is how will I find the time? How will I manage the time? How will I make this work? And the truth is, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but you're like a color coder. Is that your big secret? You like to color code your calendar?
I do like color coding. It helps, and I provided tools in the book that are going to help you with your planning, your 90-day planning, your monthly planning, weekly planning. Weekly planning is huge. Every Sunday I sit down, I take a look at my calendar, and I make sure my week is planned. And so there's a tool for that. And then your daily plan is really the magic sauce right there, is taking the time, putting it in your calendar when you're going to work your daily plan.
Yeah, I think that's great. And that's funny. A Sunday is always my day to reflect and say, okay, what worked on the prior week? It's amazing to me that people will, every New Year's like, oh, resolution, big plans, big dreams, or even they're starting a business. Oh yeah, I'm going to do these great things. And then they forget it. Well, no, you need to return to it every day. And I love the idea, you kind of get a night. Okay, what do I want to do this year? What do I want to accomplish in these next 90 days? Okay, in order to do that, what do I need to do this week? Write that out, plan that out. Okay, well, what do I need to do today? And you kind of use I have had some other friends who did it as well, color code, just so you can kind of visually see, am I balanced? Do I have a little bit for my health? Do I have something for my kids? What about my husband? What about, my business? What about, all these different areas of our life? So I kind of like that idea. And I know
I realized quickly that, I really had a huge need. I wanted to help my family. And I realized quickly, even though this wasn't a strong suit of mine, organization and the calendar, I realized quickly that if I didn't change what I was doing and to prioritize my time, that my life was not going to change.
Yeah. The time is all we've got. You got to make the most of the time. That's absolutely critical. And I know one of your big passions, because I edited this book, you kept coming back to it, and I had to say, okay, apparently it's your favorite topic, and that is finding your why. That's like your big passion. Obviously, putting God first, winning the day by having the calendar, having a plan, and that's really how you grow your business. But why don't you talk for a minute about why you feel it's so important to begin with God and understanding what's your why, what's your purpose.
Well, I think many people, I've noticed just this along the years that I've built my business, is they struggle. They struggle with motivation and taking action. And what I understand and realize is from the beginning, I had clarity. I had crystal clear clarity about why I was building my business. And so I really like to talk about um, sharing your hopes and your dreams with God, like getting honest with him, getting clear with him, telling him the good, bad of everything, and start dreaming with him. And that's really how it started for me, because um, I had I was one night, I put my 2-year-old and my newborn to bed, and I went downstairs in the living room. And I remember it was just dead silence in the room. And my husband was out of town. It was, cold winter night. For some reason, it just hit me like a brick wall, this moment. And I thought to myself, if I don't do different, nothing is going to change. And it was in that moment that I felt God nudging me to remember a conversation and had with me. And so for me, that was the very beginning of dreaming with God. And I started to think about the possibilities that could be for me if I started my own business, and how I could get home with my kids. Instead of seeing all those obstacles,
Yeah.
when I became clear with God about what I really wanted, it became a decision. And decision, it's crystal clear in your mind, and you can take action. And even though you might experience fear and frustration and doubts along the way, you can come back and visit to that foundation, which is God is for you, with you. You can trust him, and he brought you to it,
You know,
and he's going to help you through it.
I had a very similar experience, and just as you're sharing, I mean, my why, I wanted to be home with my children. I had been abused by caretakers when I was a child. Not my parents. I had very loving parents, but I was abused by a caretaker. And so I did not want to turn my children over to a caretaker. I wanted to be there. And that's why I had, mother's helper in my home. I'm here. I know what's going on. And so my why was to be there with my children, to know what was going on with them. And this is a true story. This is back in the day, people. We had this thing called a phone book, this big, huge thing. And there was part of it was white, and that was names of people. And then the back was yellow, and that was businesses. So I had lost my job as an investment banker, and I decided, okay, now I'm gonna have my own business because I wanted to get pregnant, have my first child. And so I had done a lot of marketing, and I knew that I was a good writer. So anyway, I turned to like marketing and that section, and I went through one by one, and I called all of these companies asking them if they needed someone to do copywriting for them. I could be their copywriter, just calling one after another. Remember those phones that were into the wall? And I finally got one. One guy he had a advertising agency. He's like, oh yeah, come on in. When can you come in? I'm like, now. He's like, come on in. Well, I didn't have a sitter, and I didn't want to leave my child with a sitter. So I get all dressed up in a navy blue pinstripe suit, put my daughter in a stroller, and went walking into this office in a pinstripe suit, my floppy bow tie, and my daughter in a stroller. Now I go walking in, they're like, what on earth? And the guy's like, okay, what's up with this? And I said, I wanted you to know why I'm going to be the best copywriter you ever hired. She's the reason why. And he was stunned. He was like, wow, old move. and he hired me. And that was my first major client, you know, and I did a lot of copywriting for him. And I only needed 2 clients because they kept me so busy, and that was easy. But I think it is important to know your why and just keep it ever before you. And it does when the going is tough, when you're scared, when it's like, you got to put yourself out there. What if they reject you? The sky will fall. What will you do? You know what? You'll keep going because you know your why. And as Stacy said, you know, knowing that God is for you and he's going to be there with you and he's going to lead and direct your steps. I wanted you to mention again, Stacy, you've put together, in addition to the book, which they can get free today and tomorrow on Amazon Kindle. It's Work from Home Survival Kit for Christian Moms. Put God first, win the day, build your business. But you've also put together a beautiful kind of toolkit that they can also get for free. They can download it with kind of all your forms and resources, and they can get that on that same page. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the toolkit?
Sure. There's about 7 or 10 at least tools, survival tools, we call them, that you can download them all. And a free link I have, it's actually inside the book cover, but the tool I was just sharing is called Dreaming with God. And it's really, you can see it when you download it, but it has some clouds on it. And it talks of different types of dreams you could have. And so that's an example of one tool, but they're there to just help you through your journey, through the process, and help you along the way, and just to encourage you.
And I agree. And they're printables, right? They can go ahead and print those out if they get and again, all of this is at stacywoodford.com, stacywoodford.com. That's where you'll find a link to get the book for free. That's where you'll find a link to get this beautiful, we put a lot of work into it, this beautiful toolkit of printables. And I agree with you about the paper. And just for funsies, there was a study done at a major university, and here's what they did. They brought students into an auditorium and they gave half of them a laptop and half of them pen and paper. And they said, okay, take good notes during this session and this teaching, use your laptop or pen and paper, come back in a week and you're going to be in exam. As the students were leaving the room, they took back the pen and paper. They took back the laptop. They couldn't take anything out of the room. When those students came back a week later, the ones who had taken notes with pen and paper far excel those who had taken notes on an electronic device. So it's been proven there really is something about putting pen to paper. I use electronics all day long. I love technology, but when it comes to planning my week, old school, paper, pen and paper. And I know that Stacy is the same way. I also love my whiteboard, but I always, every day, the first thing I do is take out my pen and paper planner. And so you can get those downloadables, print them off, just the ones that you like. You get a whole bunch of them back here. Layers of Why, Dreaming with God, vision statement, your weekly calendar, weekly planning. I like your weekly planning form. Start your day with God. You've got a great tool on starting your day with God. I know you're a big Jesus lover, mother's helper, checklist, chore chart. I like this because you're in the direct sales industry. 100 no's, and she put hearts and dollar signs around it, because you know what? Every no leads you closer to the yes. And it's just part of it. You can't take the rejection personally. You got to keep going. And so I think that was kind of
And
fun.
I realized that the sooner I realized that I was not trying to convince people,
Yeah.
that my goal is to share with people and to help them and to serve them and to sort through them. Not everybody's going to be interested, and it's okay. So, I think something that holds back moms or women from their potential could be, letting that fear dictate, letting those emotions dictate your actions. And you have to not let your emotions be in the driver's seat, and you have to, that's why focusing on your why and dreaming with God is so important. And we can't let that rejection take you out, because each conversation you have, even one conversation at a time, is one step closer to your goals. And so I look at it as I'm connecting with people and helping people instead of
And you have to have a
rejection.
plan, and that's what we're having your plan. It's like, I'm going to talk to 5 people, or I'm going to make X number of what, like when I was calling people from the phone book, I'm like, I'm going to, during these hours, I'm picking up the phone, and it doesn't matter what that person on the other end of the, yeah, I'm just going to keep going during those hours until I find that person who does want what I have to offer, who does value what I bring to the table. And don't worry about the people that, hey, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I already know that. That's okay. I don't have to be for everybody. You don't have to be for everybody. Your product, your service, it's not for everybody. And your job is just to, make yourself available, locate those who do want what you need. So we promised to give success tips. I think we've given a bunch, but I think you said you had top 5. Do you want to just dive in? I'm going to ask Tamara to come back in, and I think Tamara's going to share a couple tips too. But what are some top tips that you want to give?
Sure, we mentioned a little bit about this, but I wanted to talk about the Christian mom, starting your day with God, and how important that is to have that time with him, invite him into your journey, and to talk to God and be honest with him, and also meditate on his word. And I think a lot of times people get confused in today's world with meditation and what does that really mean. And with God, he wants us to fill our minds with his word and also the other thing is speaking his word out loud, speaking it over your life, over your business, over your family, and then doing your personal growth, reading books. Can't emphasize enough, listening to or audios, reading every day. How much of an impact is that made on growing your business when you make that already? The second thing is to run your business every day. And I know Donna was talking about make sure you give your break, but make sure you're being consistent. Yes, you do need a break, but consistency is definitely the key. And
All right,
I found over the years when helping people's business.
Stacy, you're breaking up. Okay, it looks like Stacy froze. Tamara, why don't you go ahead and jump on, and why don't you share some of your top tips?
Well, it's funny listening to Stacy talk. Hopefully she can jump back on here in a minute. My number one that I was going to share is miracle morning, I call it.
Yeah.
It's something you really have to make yourself do, is exactly what Stacy was just talking about. You have to learn. I read the book, The Miracle Morning, and it really helped me to figure out how can I wake myself up on that early god awful hour when no one else, because instead of god awful, God beautiful. So yes, that's probably one of my number one. And then number two, that's made a huge change in my life, especially working from home, is to get a mentor, get somebody you connect with on a regular basis, somebody that is maybe even an expert in your business or an expert in a business that understands some challenges of what you're going through, even if it's just 20 or 30 minutes on the phone. If you can get away, if you can't, it's fine. Zoom is amazing. But sitting at home with kids all day long, sometimes you just need a little adult input.
Yeah,
And Stacy is a coach, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Stacy.
I was going to say, I think that that's really good. And I actually have been thinking lately, I think I need a coach. It is good to have an objective third party. And you do that a lot for me, but we've been friends for 20 years. So
Exactly.
I turn into more of a pain than a client.
No.
As a coach. But, to have a
my favorite pain.
A coach is a professional, a paid professional. Like, you're a great coach in my life. You're a great coach, period. But, to have a paid professional.
Exactly.
It's I think that's really smart.
And ideally, if they have some element of an understanding of your business, would be even better. So that's always been a life changer for me. I didn't become successful in real estate investing until I got a mentor. I had a group training and I had some group coaching, and it sent me to a level, but I really didn't get to the level that I am still enjoying today until I still have mentors in my business. And might have different ones, but that's important. And I think it's important. And Stacy, again,
can I jump in real quick? I just want to say, because I see Hillary's here. Hillary, can you suggest to Stacy that she try another area of the house?
She's coming on.
Hillary, can you suggest to Stacy that she try another area of the house that's closer to the Wi-Fi? because she was breaking up a lot before we lost her. And I think if she maybe moves to somewhere in the house that's closer to the Wi-Fi, she might do better. Stacy, it looks like you're back. Let me, I will make you co-host again. Okay. Tamara, did you have anything else that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I was just getting started. Actually, I was affirming everything you were saying, Stacy. I mean, a coach, that's what you do for your team. That's how they grow. They have you to look to and to guide. I call it a miracle morning. That's a book I read called The Miracle Morning. You know, finding a way to get yourself up and awake before everybody else does, to really spend that time with the Lord is key. And you were just saying that. I was just going to say another thing, and you kind of alluded to it when you talked about house cleaning and stuff, but delegating what you just don't enjoy. I read another book called The Power of Focus, and it taught me about how important it is to spend 80% of your day doing what you love and that you're good at, not on trying to figure out to make yourself better at what you hate.
Oh, girl. You are tonight, too, because you're preaching so good. You're preaching so good. And I just want to, I need to emphasize that. And it looks like we do have Stacy back, so I'll jump back to her too. I have really been through a season that I spent a number of years doing things that I really was not gifted at. And it was, Tamara walked through it with me. It was so draining. And I was successful at it, but it wasn't my gifting, and I was drained. So what Tamara just shared is like gold. It's so important. You need to spend your day really doing what you're gifted at, what you enjoy, what energizes you. Find a business that builds on your strengths, so you're not spending all day trying to overcome your weaknesses.
And or delegate pieces. I mean, like, I hate bookkeeping. I'm a real estate investor. It's a money business. Yep. But delegate or hire what you need to do, so you don't have to spend.
So that you can focus on doing what you love.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to say one more thing, then I'm going to go disappear for a minute, because Stacy, you've got, and everything just points to and affirms, you guys have to get Stacy's book. Stacy, I've read it a couple of times. I actually handed it to a realtor here in my area that works from home, and she, I found out her husband's a pastor and loves your book. Now she's sharing it with everybody in her congregation. And anyway, so I just really, all I'm doing is affirming what Stacy was already talking about. But one last thing is that I find in my working with people, a lot of times people want to do what they like and what they feel comfortable doing. And the unfortunate part is that the part of business that is really important also is marketing, which is, as Stacy just called before she left us, is sharing. And if you don't enjoy doing videos or social media or whatever, just get someone to do it for you, but spend at least half your time on money-making activities. Half your time on money-making activities, not organizing your desk, not doing all the other important things, money-making activities. Okay.
I love it. Those are really good. I was the queen of that. Like, oh yeah, I'm working. I'm like doing all these other things except what generates income. Stacy, do we have you back?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yay! We can hear you. Yeah, I think where you were, maybe in your house, wasn't the best for Wi-Fi, because we were losing you quite a bit. Okay, but you're back now. Do you have other success tips that you wanted to share?
I'm not sure where I left off or where you did.
It was on the sharing part about it's not sales, it's sharing, and whatever you were. I think there was point 2. I think.
Okay. Did you hear me talk about working your business consistently?
That's where you left off. You left off right there. Okay. We were losing you on consistency. Yes, consistency. One of my weaknesses. You're talking about all my weaknesses. Keep going.
Well, and I think people that start a business think they have to try and be someone else, and you have to be yourself, and you have to just work it consistently and stay in the game. And that's really what knocks people out, is when they stop being consistent. And consistency is key. And then the other thing I was starting to mention was surround yourself with people who support your success. And I heard a quote by Jim Rohn that says, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And it's so true. Who are you spending time with? Are you spending time with people that lift you up, support you? Are you plugging into your company events, trainings? Are you connecting, spending time with the right people? It's crucial. And then I know we kind of shared some similar tips, but I do want to say one more thing, that it's important to rest in him, and there's grace for the pace. There's so much comparison and shame that can come into building your own business and comparing yourself to other people. And when you're clear about that why and can just rest in him and go along with God in the journey, he doesn't say it's going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And he's just embrace the process, embrace the journey, trust it, stay the course, and don't quit. Everybody's journey is different.
And I do think I actually have a book coming up, someone that I'm working with, and they talk a lot about actually the nervous system, the parapath, however you pronounce it, that the nervous system, and that taking that time to meditate in the morning, to, you know, just, and I know it's not new age guru stuff, but just really breathing, spending time with God, worshiping God. Put on your worship, whoever you were, you know, really get your worship on, spend that first 30 minutes, whatever, with God, get yourself into a place of peace and rest and God confidence. Then you can rock the day. And it's actually physiological that your breathing, that place of peace, it resets, you know, your entire nervous system and prepares you for the day. So putting God first, and everybody says, put God first, but you are actually going to help people do it. I'm excited. Can you tell I'm excited about this? Tell us about your 7-minute morning meditations. This is going to be awesome. So, you know, we're not just going to talk about putting God first. You're doing it and you're leading the way. Tell us about that.
Thanks, Donna and Tamara. Yeah. Actually, I'm starting 7-minute morning meditation starting next week on Monday, the 24th at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So 7:30 for 7 minutes. And I'm just going to be sharing things that God's teaching me, Bible verses, lessons along my journey. And I'm excited to start that series with you on Monday. It's going to be on weekdays for 7 minutes at 7:30 a.m. Also, you can grab my book on Amazon, Work from Home Survival Kit for Christian Moms. Put God first, win the day, and build your business. And I'm doing a fun giveaway. So for the first 50 people that take a picture of themselves with the book and tag me, post it, you're going to be entered into my drawing for, I'm going to be giving away AirPods, a $50 Amazon gift card, a beautiful journal, colorful highlighters. It's a fun prize pack. And then lastly, I wanted to tell you, if you want to follow me, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, but I have started a group that's called Work from Home Christian Moms. And we can put, I'll put the link inside here as well. It's actually, the address is facebook.com/groups/Christian WAHM. Work
I already put it in there. It's there.
Oh,
And also,
okay.
if they go to your website,
Yes, StaceyWoodford.com.
there's a link right there on that'll take you right to the group. So just go to StaceyWoodford.com. You'll see the book. You'll see the downloads, the toolkit of all the printables. You can pen and paper, organize your life, get this all mapped out. That's where you get the information about the prize package, which is incredible. You're going to get everybody color coding. I might go get some. I love color. Anybody who knows me knows me and colored pens, and I do have colored highlighters too. So it's where you can find out about that, and where you can find out about the 7-minute morning meditations. That'll take you right to the Facebook group. You can see her gorgeous face, all right there at StaceyWoodford.com. So is there anything else that we wanted to cover? Final tips.
We got it. That's what I wanted to share today. Just stay the course. This book is all about learning how to be a survivor and how to thrive and to bring and invite God into your journey. And this book is going to help you along the way.
Amen. Amen. And I do think that the key, and I like that we put survival, and it's actually thriving. Each of the chapters has a thrive story of women who have thrived. And that's really what it is. You have to think of your business as it's a blessing and a battle. It's both. And, we tend to think of sometimes I'm blessed and sometimes I'm in the battle. And it's not really like that. It's like every day has its blessings and every day has its battles. And I think this is a really uplifting and encouraging guide. I think your 7-minute morning meditations are really going to kind of set the tone for the day, and just be realistic. Look, if you're going to have your own business at home, there's going to be blessings, there's going to be battles. It's all part of it. And God will be there with you in the midst of it. And just wake up every day and do what you committed to do. I think that that's really the key, rather than saying, well, today I don't feel like it. Well, no, you have your plan. Okay. So now you've got to work the plan. No matter how you feel, no matter what anyone else says or does, you're going to work the plan and you're going to stay with it. So is there anything else that you wanted to share? You've done an amazing job. You should be so proud of yourself. It's very well written. Lots of great substance. Let me just, maybe I'll just share with people some of the chapters. It's about dreaming with God, finding your why, putting together your 90-day plan. I would kind of, redo the printables, get a 90-day supply, the monthly plan, the weekly planning. So she breaks it down, then the daily plan. It's very methodical. And then she's got great teaching on just the different elements of starting your day with God. What should you include? Like, okay, I'm going to start my day with God. What does that look like? What do I do? I don't know. And she guides you and gives you a checklist, kind of a little guide. I don't want to say checklist, but it is a checklist. Just kind of guide you and to give some shape to that morning time with God, which I think is great. She talks about surrounding yourself with the right people, getting extra help, and then grace for the pace, resting in God. And I do think that women get a hold of this. If you go to staceywoodford.com, you can get available today and tomorrow. Is free on Amazon Kindle. After that, it'll still be reasonably priced. It's a great book. You can get the paperback. If you get the paperback, post a picture of yourself holding it up on social media, tag her, put it in the Facebook group, and you'll be entered to win the prize. Is it like a 200 plus prize? Tell us one more time what's in that prize package.
Plus, yes.
$250 value. That's quite a prize pack. I think can I win?
You can enter in, Donna. Yes.
I've already entered. Hey, I got my picture up. I think I would like. I think I want those colored markers so people can enter to win that. No Kindle. You can't hold up your Kindle. We had someone try that once. No, the entry, everything is free. But if you want to enter the drawing for a $250 prize package, then the price of admission for that is the paperback, which you can get on Amazon. Again, staceywoodford.com. Any final thoughts?
That's it. Thank you for having me, Donna and Tamra.
Okay.
Good job. I'm so excited. The latest #1 Amazon bestseller author, Stacey Woodford.
Do you have any
questions? Well, you can. She's going to be big. That's going to be big. I know your goals, and you're going to do great. Pretty soon, you're going to be on that stage of that company you work for, doing those motivational talks that you've dreamt of doing. And I can't wait to see it. So thank you, Donna. Tamra, were there any good questions or comments that you wanted to share? You know what? There was a lot of, Dahlia said, got mine ordered. A lot of affirmations of everything you said. And no specific questions, just a lot of affirmations, and good job, and got it. And yes, consistency. Kathy says, interesting. She said she had to go through staceywoodford.com. Don't Google it. Go to www.staceywoodford.com and it came up. So go there to get your, I like the idea of earpods, Amazon gift cards. I already entered my. Well, you're entered to win. Tamara and I already entered my photos. So. We want the prize package. Does this count here? Yeah. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us. It's really been a blessing to be here with Stacey. She's a great lady. Traveled around the world with me already, works with Hector Torres, and I know God has lots more great things in store. Tamara, thanks for hosting it. Thank you. With that, we'll go ahead and sign off. Thanks for joining us. God bless.
Thank you. Bye.